Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this last segment of our political forum, sponsored by WSAV and Georgia Southern University. And we are ready to begin with your opening statements. You will get 60 seconds for your opening statements. So let's go ahead and begin and make sure we have enough time to get through a couple of questions tonight. We will begin in the 6th District. And pardon me if I do not pronounce your name correctly. Make sure you share your name. Let's start with Mr. William Dial. Is that correct?
That's it. Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Yay.
Hello, everyone. My name is William Dial. I'm running for 6th District County Commissioner. I am a resident of the 6th District. I have been for most of my life. Born at St. Joseph Hospital, graduated from Windsor Forest High School. A few of the things that I see the district needs, I want to bring repairs and new projects to the district. Be a county commissioner for everyone, not just certain groups here and there, the certain sides, the west side or the south side or the east side of the 6th district. I want to be a commissioner for everyone. For that, I've put my phone number, my email address, Facebook, Twitter, all that published. So anyone that has to get in touch with me can on my personal and political emails.
Thank you very much. Up next, Leonard Massey. Mr. Massey?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for having me, first and foremost. My name is Leonard Massey. Again, I'm a candidate for County Commissioner in the 6th District. I've been living in Savannah and Chatham County my entire life. I've been working in the hospitality industry for 19 years. I currently serve as a general manager for the last 8 years in the historic district. Civically, I've been involved with the Chatham County GOP for the last few election cycles, where I have been elected as a 3rd vice chairman. I also am serving my 2nd term on the Tourism Leadership Council of Savannah and the Board of Directors. And I'm really just looking forward to bringing my life experience in addition to my professional experience and using those contacts to make the residents of the 6th District's lives better. So if I'm fortunate enough to get through the primary, I have a great candidate that I'm running against, Mr. Dow, but I look forward to the opportunity to serve you.
Thank you. We move now to the 7th District, and we begin with Orlando Scott.
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
And first and foremost, thank you, WSAV and Georgia Southern, for putting on this forum tonight. Again, I'm Orlando Scott, a candidate for District 7 Chatham County Commissioner, born and raised here in Chatham County. Lived here all but 10 years of my life, product of the Chatham County school system. A graduate of Savannah State University, business management degree. My initiatives for District 7 is very simple. I want to address the infrastructure needs that plague our district, address the lack of policing in our unincorporated areas in West Chatham County, and then address the splash funding issues that we will have in the coming year. So I'm excited to be here, excited to serve, and thank you again.
And thank you. Also from District 7 with us tonight, Alazina Wallace Mccoy.
You are unmuted by host. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Good. Good evening. My name is Alazina Wallace Mccoy, and I'm a candidate for the 7th District of Chatham County. I have lived in the 7th District for 13 years. I am a native Savannian. I graduated from Beach High School. I left Savannah in 1984. I came back in 2007 with my family, and now I'm here just to make a difference. I have been going around our district, trying to see exactly what it is the people are in need of, speaking with the citizens in the 7th District and finding out exactly what are some of the concerns and issues they have about the 7th District. And what I'm finding is, they feel as if basically out here in the unincorporated portions of Chatham County, that we're sometimes left out of the decision makings. We have a lot of projects going on in the 7th District, but we don't really get enough information about those projects until we find people in our communities. So with me running for this office, I would like to take the time now to bring the issues back to the people, as well as to the 7th District and Chatham County as a whole.
Thank you very much. And next we are going to head to District 8. We begin with Kenneth Adams.
Good evening. My name is Kenneth Adams. I'm a candidate for the 8th District County Commission seat. I was born and raised in, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Okay. Okay. I was born and raised in Savannah in the 8th District. I am the publisher of the Savannah Herald newspaper. I am the grandson of Floyd Presboy Adams Sr., who started the newspaper in 1945. I'm the son of Mayor Floyd Adams Jr., who has groomed me since I was a little boy for politics. Politics has always been taught in our home. I want to be the 8th District County Commissioner because I want better infrastructure, cleaner and safer neighborhoods for our youth and seniors, better economic equality, better jobs, and community inclusion working with the neighborhoods. I will be accessible and accountable, along with being the public servant that I am already served as. Thank you.
And we thank you as well. And last, we have Gary Monroe.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, WSAV and Georgia Southern for putting on this platform. I'm Gary Monroe, running for the 8th District County Commissioner seat of Chatham County. I am from Garden City, Georgia. I was born and raised here. Outside of living in Bermuda for 7 years, where I have a school for boys, which is in its 18th year. Upon returning, I have served on the Garden City Zoning and Planning Commission for 10 years, where I've been the commissioner chair for 2 years. I'm currently also the president of the Garden City Homestead Association, and I have a degree in business with a concentration in the public sector. My platform agenda is simple, concerning this relevant time, PPE, prioritization, planning, economic and essential development and growth. With my education, my experience, and my community involvement, I want to be able to serve the people, and I think it better equips me and makes me the better candidate to be able to meet the needs of the people, as well as have the know-withal to help the commission lead us out of this crisis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Monroe. Ben, over to you. Start the questioning.
All right, let's start with question number 1 here. Here's the question. You'll have 60, are we going to do 60 seconds still for these answers? Yeah, it's 90.
Let's do 30 seconds so we can get more questions in.
Well, we can go a little past 9 if our candidates are good with that, because I think we can go to like 9, 10.
Y'all give us a thumbs up. Are you good with
going a little past 9? Okay, then we'll do 60 seconds then.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right, we're going to stay in the 8th, and we'll start with Mr. Monroe. Here's the question. We'll kind of just go in reverse order so you can sort of prepare mentally for that. Name an issue affecting your district that you believe must be a priority once you take office, and how you would address that. And Gary Monroe, please go first.
Well, unfortunately, the 8th District has been an overlooked, neglected district. And again, my plan, PPE, first and foremost, is to prioritize the issues and the concerns of the 8th District. I want to be able to bring the concerns of the people of the 8th District, whereas it's West Savannah, it's Garden City, if it's Port Wentworth, or it's North Pooler. I want to be able to bring these issues and concerns and make them a priority on the commission, that we will no longer be overlooked. More importantly, what we need in this 8th District to be able to sustain healthy lifestyle, we need grocery stores. So that's definitely going to be a main priority for me in the 8th District, along with transportation and keeping the focus and the eye on the Canal District project, as well as the Grant Center construction. But grocery stores, transportation, crime, these are issues that are relevant and necessary to address and meet coming in as a county commissioner.
Thank you. Same question to Kenneth Adams.
My biggest priority would probably be economics. with unemployment on the rise right now with COVID-19, companies are going to have to close, even lay people off. Poverty will greatly rise from 15.8%. We need to recruit new industries into Chatham County and take advantage of our port, rail, and highway systems that will allow them to distribute goods across the state, nation, and globally. This will give the residents better opportunities to live more viable lives and lowering the poverty rate of Chatham County. Thank you.
Mr. Adams, thank you. Now we'll head on to District 7, and we will start with Alexandria Wallace Mccoy. Name an issue affecting your district that you believe must be a priority once you take office, and how would you address it?
Well, the biggest issue I can see in the 7th district is we have a lot of flooding out here, and we need to address the issues. I know the county has allocated a lot of SPLOST money to correcting the drainage problems that we're having out here, but it appears as if a lot of our constituents in these various subdivisions are seeing a lot of water rising, especially with the canal, Quaco Canal. So one of the things that I think we need to do is we need to address these issues, being that basically we've already spent so much money on SPLOST dollars on making sure that we have the proper drainage, and we're not having it right now. So we need to really look at that, because these citizens out here are really suffering when we have these heavy rains. We just had heavy rain a couple of weeks ago, and the water continuously back up in that Quaco Canal. So that's a big issue out here that we need to address.
Ms. Wallace Mccoy, thank you. Orlando Scott, 60 seconds to you.
Thank you, Ben. One of the biggest issues in District 7 is the need for increased police presence in West Chatham unincorporated area. Right now, we're running about a 1.3 to every 1,000 residents, officer to resident ratio. We need to get that up to 1.5 for many reasons. I think Chief Hadley's doing a great job, and we got to find ways to work with him to give him additional resources and support, and also use our sheriff department, county sheriff department, for additional resources. There have been a whole array of issues, from burglaries to petty crimes, and different things that are going on in our district, and we got to address that. So to me, that's one of the biggest issues.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Scott. Now we're moving on to District 6 with the first question, and we'll start with Leonard Massey.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the question. The issue that is plaguing the 6th district, for one, we need a multi-generational regional complex in the 6th district. A complex that focuses on soccer fields, ball fields, more activities for the children in the 6th district, because if you go in the 6th district, there is not many places where there's no places for families to congregate together and spend that type of time that you need to build a strong community. You also need to focus on essential services and businesses in the 6th district. We have many vacant business buildings, huge buildings that are just collecting space, and there's no one there to invest inside of those buildings. And what that lets me know is that the type of businesses that the 6th district need, we're not able to attract those. So we have to be able to attract businesses that are self-sustained. So when you have a situation where it is a shelter in place or something like that, the community doesn't have to travel that far to get those essential services that they need. So we need to take a multi-generational complex and a focus on essential services.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. And we will wrap up question 1 with William Dial.
Yes, sir. Thank you. A few issues I see affecting our district. One is communication and transparency. We don't have a lot of communication right here in the 6th district now. That needs to change. That's why I would post my information publicly for anyone in the 6th district to be able to contact me at any time. Another thing is the public transportation in District 6. We have our buses, they come by in certain parts in the unincorporated areas, maybe once every hour. That's no way to help people to get to work on time. Or if somebody misses the bus, they have to wait a whole nother hour, call a cab. So we definitely need a functional public transportation system. And the homeless situation. We need to work out something with the homeless situation to help them out. Better opportunities for our kids to transition from high school into good paying jobs as well. Thank you.
William Dowell, thank you. That wraps up question 1. Tina's got question 2 for you.
In SPLOST 7, which was approved by the voters last November, Chatham County was scheduled to receive $216 million. However, the county did not include any funding for affordable housing. The city of Savannah included $10 million for its SPLOST to share in the SPLOST share of $165 million. Again, the city of Savannah included $10 million from its SPLOST share of $165 million. Would you work to see that some funding for affordable housing is actually included in the next SPLOST? And we will begin in District 8 with Kenneth Adams.
Thank you. I definitely will seek that because it's needed. Lower income housing is needed. I would definitely seek to work with the city and the county to see if we can get that done. It's needed out in this district very bad. I was just out yesterday and I saw so many dilapidated houses. So lower income housing is something that will be needed out here.
Thank you. Gary Monroe, your thoughts?
Side of coming out of this crisis, measuring the health and the well-being of the working population, it's going to be critical that we look to see about allocating funds to support housing. It's always a critical issue in every community, every city, and in every district. Unfortunately, we're always going to have the less unfortunate amongst us. And it becomes the responsibility and care, concern of a municipality and government to try to assist people the best they can, as well as continue to maintain the budgetary obligations and responsibilities of the county. So that's going to be paramount outside of ensuring first and foremost that we have a healthy working workforce so that we can be able to stimulate the economy.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on now to District 7, and we begin with, let's see, Alazina Wallace McCoy.
Thank you. Alzina.
No,
Alzina.
Oh, wow. We've been trying all night. Okay, so we apologize, okay? Alzina.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Is that better? Okay,
yes,
thanks.
that's better. Thank you.
All right.
Well, for starters, I would first like to, find out from the commissioners why the county has not allocated, dollars out of SPLOST number 7 for moderate income homes. Because I notice in our district currently, we have a plethora of multifamily dwellings going up. And it's not just a fundamental question of why the county has not allocated money out of SPLOST 7 for the moderate income families, but what are they doing with the buildings that we currently have in the district that are coming up all along Highway 17? We have so many apartment dwellings, and are any of those apartment dwellings allocated for that moderate income family? So it's sort of like, not just a broad stroke on why the county is not doing something. We need to first find out the reasoning behind it with all of the growth that we currently have in the 7th district.
Thank you. Next to Mr. Orlando Scott, what are your thoughts?
Tina, that's a great question, and it's something that we have to bring to the forefront as commissioners. If you look at Pooler, which is one of the fastest growing communities in the state, there is no foundation for affordable housing, workforce housing, whatever you want to call it. And I use the example often with Hilton Head right across the bridge. They've had such tremendous growth in the past 10, 20 years. If you ride up and down 278, you see restaurants, bars, hotels, retail establishments, but they're having such a hard time staffing it, and it goes back to affordable housing. There's very little over there. So we have to address that. We have to put funding for that, not just for Savannah, but for the entire county. Thank you.
And thank you. Let's check in now with District 6, and we begin with Leonard Massey.
Yes, I do believe that was a oversight for the county not to allocate some funds for affordable housing, because that's a huge part of breaking the cycle of poverty in Chatham County. With all the growth, we can focus on businesses and business development all we want to, but you do need to ensure that there's people to work in these businesses and able to have transportation that's reliable to go to those businesses as well, but also to just have to be able to partake in the success of a community. You don't want communities off limits to certain demographics of people just because they can't afford affordable housing to live there or have transportation to travel there. So as commissioners, we should bring that to the forefront. And if I'm elected, I will definitely make sure that happens.
Thank you. And we wrap up this question with our last candidate's answer, Mr. William Dial.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. What you were saying, 216 million was allocated in SPLOST funds and none of it went to affordable housing. That is a big oversight. We definitely need to allocate money for affordable housing. You know, you have your homeless, you have veterans, you have people low income. We definitely need affordable housing in the 6th district and all across Chatham County. So that would be something that would definitely be looked at and taken care of if I was elected for your commissioner.
Thank you. Ben?
All right, let's go on to question 3 now. The County Commission makes several appointments to the Savannah Economic Development Authority Board, CEDA. CEDA puts together deals to attract new businesses to our county with generous tax abatements in exchange for job creation. Would you support an independent audit of CEDA contracts for jobs and salaries created? Would you support an independent audit of CEDA contracts for jobs and salaries created? Let's start in the 6th this time with Leonard Massey.
Yes, I believe that's a no-brainer. In order to ensure that government is running efficiently and effectively serving our community, you have to ensure that everything is done on the up and up and that there are no handouts and that the resources are being allocated in a way that is fair. You have many contractors that say that there's some barrier to entry, that they're not able to access certain pools of resources because they've been allocated to people or organizations that have a little bit more money or have a little bit more sway politically. So I definitely think an audit should be called, and it shouldn't just be an audit for CEDA, it should be an audit for all county-related entities to ensure that we're doing the best with the people's funds.
Mr. Massey, thank you. Now to Mr. Dial.
I would definitely support a independent audit. That keeps, like Mr. Massey was saying, it keeps everybody honest, keeps everybody in line, make sure nothing gets out of hand, no favors are handed out here and there. So I would definitely support the independent audit on that fact.
Mr. Dial, thank you. Now let's go to the 7th. We'll start with Orlando Scott.
Thank you. And I would also support an audit, but I want to go one layer deeper. I think we have to do a better job when we're appointing these individuals to the boards. So the commissioners actually appoint constituents to see the board. And we have to make sure we're putting the right people in place. Because CEDA provides a great service. They bring a lot of business into our county, but we have to hold them accountable. So the audit, yes, I agree with that, but also putting the right members on these boards is very critical. Thank you.
Mr. Scott, thank you. Now we hear from Alzina Wallace Mccoy.
Well, I spent all of my career working in finances. And an audit is always in order, no matter who the organization is. Now, for an organization like CEDA and what they do bring to the community, and we are giving them so many tax dollars, it would behoove them not to adhere to any type of audit. And any of us sitting on this panel this evening, for us not to say that CEDA should be audited for how they are using taxpayer dollars is counterintuitive to how business is done. So yes, an audit of CEDA and the funds that they're receiving from the county is in order, and it should be in order regardless of basically, what the platform is.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace McCoy. And now we'll go to the 8th. We'll start with Gary Monroe.
Yes, I mean, when you consider that we are a democracy, this republic is based on checks and balance from the federal level, state, city, and why not the county. And particularly when you're dealing with not only just millions of dollars, but you're dealing with the taxpayers' dollars. And we have to be prudent in our allocations and spending with the taxpayers' dollars. So it behooves the county, as any municipality or government body, to have audits that we are able to render an opinion, to be able to examine for material weaknesses or misallocations of fund, just to make sure that we as a governing board can make the a wise, reasonable decision in going forward. So I support that, if nothing else, but to make sure that there is a checks and balance in place.
Mr. Monroe, thank you. We'll wrap up question number 3 with Kenneth Adams.
Yes, I'm in support of an audit of CETA. I'm also in support of, someone said earlier, how do we determine who sits on the CETA board? We may need to break up that old buddy concept. I'm in support of an audit because even small organizations have audits. So we need to definitely have an audit of CETA. Thank you.
And thank you. Now over to Tina.
All right, it is time now for our closing statements. You will have 30 seconds to make your statements, and we will begin tonight in District 7. Let's do District 7 with Ms. Alzina Mccoy, or Wallace Mccoy. Alzina Wallace Mccoy. You're going to love me when it's all said and done, okay? I've got 15 things going on as I speak to you right now, so I want to say it one more time. We'll begin our closing statements with Mrs. Alzina Wallace Mccoy.
I love you anyway, Tina. Thank you very much. I'm running for the 7th district because I'm looking at taking a pragmatic perspective to how we do things in the 7th district. I'm concerned about the citizens out here. I built my whole career on working for people that do not have a voice, working for people that are forgotten about. Yes, we have infrastructural problems. Yes, we have policing problems. Yes, we have problems in our community. But at the end of the day, it's all about what are we going to do to help the citizens of the 7th district feel like they are a part of Chatham County and not just during an election cycle.
Thank you. Orlando Scott, your last thoughts as we begin to wrap up tonight?
Thank you again, Tina and Ken, for having us. I'll be real simple since I only have 30 seconds. If you want politics as usual, don't vote for me, vote for the incumbent. But if you want a leader that's going to fight for the 7th district, serve with integrity, that's cross-functional, that can communicate with anyone, that will make the toughest fiscal decisions, that'll be a servant leader, then I'm your guy, and I'm asking for your vote in this coming election in June. Thank you again.
And thank you. Let's head to District 6 now. William Dial.
Yes, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, WSAV, Tina, Ben, Georgia Southern, for this opportunity. I just wanted to end with, I am a small business owner, electrical business. I'm the type of guy, I might be the owner, but I'm still crawling under houses. I'm still in the attic. I have no political experience, but I do have business experience. So I'm not going to be getting tied up over here, over there. This is going to be strictly for the people, the same way I run my business, for the people. Nothing's going to change that. I've been a strong advocate in Chatham County for autism and special needs for the last 2 years. I hope to continue to do that as well. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we're heading now to our last 2 candidates of the night in District 8. Kenneth Adams.
My name is Kenneth Adams. I'm running for 8th District County Commissioner. I have lived the life of an elected official, I feel already, through my father, Mayor Floyd Adams Jr. I have worked at our family business over 35 years. Now I have the opportunity to serve the people of the 8th District as I have served the people with the Savannah Herald. I am better for economics. I want better economics, new businesses, grocery stores, and industry in the 8th District. I want cleaner and safer neighborhoods for our children and our seniors. I am in favor of affordable housing and better drainage for the 8th District. Thank you, Georgia Southern and WSAB, for this platform. Everyone stay safe and stay home. Again, my name is Kenneth Adams. I need your vote on June 9th. Thank you.
And thank you as well. Finally, we wrap up this segment tonight with Gary Monroe. Actually, I'm getting a signal. Let's go to Gary now, and then we'll connect with the Leonard Massey, okay? Gary Monroe, your last say?
Yes. Gary Monroe running for the 8th District County Commission seat. I'm not running because of a family lineage in politics. I'm running because I'm familiar with the issues and concerns of the people. Charles Dickens said it better. This is the worst of times, but with my experience, we can make this the best of times. He says, this is the most foolish of times, but with my education and being able to make sound decisions on the board of Chatham County, we can make this an age of wisdom. He said it's also a winter of despair, but with my vision, we can make this a spring of hope. And I'm saying in this critical time, it's time that we elect someone who can go on the county commissioner to be able to make projections for the greater good of the people of Chatham County. And my projection as I close out is for Chatham County and District 8, we shall prosper and have good success.
Thank you. And we are going to circle back now. Larry Massey, I hope, or Leonard Massey, I hope you're still with us. You see, I'm just kind of scrambling here because
no, man, it's okay.
I missed you. But guess what? We're happy that you're still with us, and I apologize for skipping over you. Just give us a last chat tonight on what your thoughts are as we wrap up and you continue your campaign.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm not holding it against you. I know you're very busy.
Well, thank you. We're trying to get ready for this 10 o'clock newscast, so I have to shuffle here. So get us out of here.
Yes, ma'am. So first, thank you for having me. Thank you to WSAV. Thank you to Georgia Southern for putting on this forum to introduce the candidates to the community that we are looking to serve. I not only have a heart for service, I have the tools and resources to be an effective servant on day one. I lead a team of 63 individuals. I've been a leader in the hospitality community for the last 10 years, and I know exactly what it takes to turn District 6 around. So if you are wanting business as usual, I'm not the candidate for you, but if you want an effective leader that has a track record of turning things around, then I am definitely your candidate, and I look forward to earning your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leonard. We appreciate all of our candidates for participating in tonight's political forum, sponsored by WSAV and Georgia Southern. And we also want to thank our viewers on WSAV.com and on the WSAV Facebook page for joining us as well. And before we go, we just want to share a couple of last-minute thoughts with you in reference. Ben, I know you're looking at your watch over there, but I want to remind people when...
Well, Zoom is going to cut us off. Okay, so we said it. It's a hard out.
Okay,
you got 2 minutes.
Remember, everyone, May 11th is the last day to register to vote, and May 18th is in-person early voting. That is when it begins. And of course, Election Day is June 9th. Ben, over to you.
All right. Thank you to everyone who took part in this experiment tonight. I think we did manage to get some campaign platforms across. So we appreciate all of the attendees and all of you at home or wherever you are watching tonight. So we're going to sign off here, but please join us for News 3 at 10 on the WSAV CW and of course for News 3 at 11 on the big channel, WSAV News 3. Thanks everybody. Good night.